Good evening, everybody. This is the readings for the 7th of April, as according to the old calendar. This, of course, for anybody wondering, is a day late, and that's because it was Pascha yesterday, so. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Christos voskreσε, vaistino voskreσε, Christos anesti, alaphos anesti. I'm gonna be honest, those are the only languages I know. Let's get right into it. I am, of course, Rita Lazar. Welcome to Voices of British Orthodoxy. Today is the 7th of April. Well, today is not the 7th of April, but we are reading the entry for the 7th of April. Our first saint is Saint Brynac, and he's also known as Saint Bemac, or Saint Bemacus. And he is from. So it says 5th century, but then there's a question mark next to it because I guess it's uncertain. An Irishman, Saint Brynac, settled in Wales, where he built a cell and a church at a place now called Carn Inglai, Mountain of Angels, which overhangs Newport, Pembrokeshire. In addition, several churches in Pembrokeshire dedicated to him. Shouldn't that be are dedicated to him? Anyway, there is little further information on this saint extant, though it seems likely that he reposed in the first half of the 5th century. Some sources state he is the same saint as Saint Brannock of Broughton, who is commemorated on the 7th of January, but there is no reliable information to support this assertion. Next saint is Saint Finan, also known as Saint Finian, and he is from the 6th century. A native of Munster, Saint Finan was said to have been gifted with prophecy and miraculous powers as a child. He became a disciple of Saint Brendan the Voyager, who we commemorate on the 16th of May, and later at his direction founded a monastery at Kinnitty. I'm not going to attempt to read the Irish, which is in County Offaly. Today, all that remains of the monastery is the high cross and the abbey wall, the rest of the site being occupied by Castle Bernard. Our third saint of the day is Saint Goran, also known as Warrenus, and he is from the 6th century. Sorry. A contemporary and friend of Saint Petroc, who is commemorated on the 4th of June. It appears he lived at Bodmin, and there are several churches in Cornwall dedicated to him. No further information on this saint is extant. So, for this final entry, there are two saints, and in the book there is an icon that depicts them both. Unfortunately for me, and I guess potentially any viewers of this, I couldn't find the icon online. I'm not going to pretend I looked super hard, but I did look, and so our final entry for the day is for Saints Lilywin, also known as. Honestly, it's just spelled differently. And Saint Gwyneth, and they are from the 6th century. These two monks lived at Welsh Pool and later at Bardsey in Wales at some point in the 6th century. Nothing further is known of their lives. So yeah, I couldn't find the icon. I guess for anybody that has the Orthodox Saints of the British Isles, Volume 2, April to June, go to page 34 and you will be able to see the icon. It's a very lovely icon. Saint Gwyneth is on the left and Saint Lilywelyn is on the right, and in the centre of them is potentially a chapel, or something like that. So, of course, obviously I've given everybody until Saturday because it would be extremely unreasonable. I imagine everyone's exhausted. I'm a reader. I know that plenty of readers are exhausted. So I don't expect to see anything just yet, and of course not. We so far haven't had any first sendings in. Of course, if nothing is sent in by Saturday, I guess I'd have no choice but to cancel the project for this year. Oh well, I guess. It could also just be possible that all the various priests and bishops here within the British Isles only want, such videos potentially being posted on their own socials, which is completely valid. That's why I strongly emphasize the having your blessing of your priest and, I guess if necessary, the bishop before you do send anything in. Today is, of course, the 8th, and there is no entry in this book, but we do have some saints tomorrow. May those saints intercede for us before the righteous judge. And I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's entry. I hope you all have a very blessed day. God bless you all. Remember, Christ is risen. Christos voskreσε. Christos anesti. Christos anesti. There we go. And feel free to, if you're not English, or if you're part of any of the other diaspora churches that I haven't realistically covered, leave both the Christ is risen and also the response, aka indeed he is risen, in the comments down below. That would be great, especially if it's not one of the three that I've said. Anyway, God bless you all. Amen.